Hello and welcome to another episode of Arcane Precision. Today we are doing another one of our army spotlights. Today we are featuring Dusk, House Kallyss, and we have a guest on, Erica. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, Kyle. Hi, everybody. My name is Erica. I am Delaware War Machine, tried and true. I'm the video editor for our YouTube channel, and I have been playing Dusk since their rules hit the app.
So that's what, like 2 months in, I think, right? Since Mark IV or something like that?
I think in 2023 is when their rules hit the app. I'm trying to
Okay.
think. Yeah, it's been a minute, but thank you so much for inviting me on. I love your guys' show,
Well, thank
and
you.
it's an honor to be invited on. So thank you so much.
Yeah. So have you been only been playing in Mark IV? Have you played before? Like where did you start getting into war games?
So originally, gosh, I'm gonna date myself. So my very first tabletop board game was a delightful little game. You may have heard of it, Mordheim. That was my
Okay.
jam. So in middle school, high school, I was very much into JRPGs and RTSs. So the first time I saw StarCraft, that just like blew my mind. And Civ.
I played a lot of StarCraft growing up.
Yeah, like StarCraft, Warcraft. And then I walked into a game store. I think I was there, I think picking up manga. Um, and they had these gaming tables in the back. And I was like, wait a minute. So you're telling me I can play these games with friends on a physical table and not just on my computer or TV screen? Um, yeah, so I had no idea about wargaming. I always thought it was the old army sand tables, with the cute little tanks and the little army men and stuff. I didn't
Mhm.
realize how deep the rabbit hole went, so to speak. But to answer your question, I started with Mordheim and then jumped on a Mark One player. So I think Primal came out in 2006. I picked up Circle um, because I really liked Kaya. I thought her art was really cool. And werewolves are fun, like they're cool. Missed Mark Two, came back in Mark Three when Grimkin launched, and I've been playing consistently since then. So what is that, 2017
Right around there. Yeah, right around there.
until now?
Because it was Grimkin, then I think Crucible Guard, and then Infernals.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I love the old witch. She's my favorite Iron Kingdoms character. So when my friend Chuck was visiting Andy and I, he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm getting into War Machine. Check out this spooky army that came out that's run by the old witch." And I was like, "Cool, sold."
And now she
So that's how they hooked me. That's how they got me
and
back.
now she has another army.
I know. I'm trying so hard. So I am an army loyalist. Like when I hitch myself to one of these army wagons, like that's it. Um, but man, I definitely dropped a bill on Old Umbre, I won't lie.
um so with Dusk, I mean if you've looked at Longshanks, I mean you're definitely up there for Dusk players. Like, what are any credentials you want to talk about? Are you doing any big tournaments, anything like that?
Yeah, so tournaments, I love this game. I love all the aspects of it, narrative play. Brawl Machine's great. Steamroller is my jam. I just eat that stuff up. Num 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 num. It's my favorite way to play this game. So tournament wise, yes. Andy and I, we the opportunity honor to get picked up for Team Two for Team USA for WTC. So we're going for our first time this year. And prepping for that's been a lot of games, going to tournaments. I think we were on a 5 weekend in a row, hitting the tournament circuit in our area. We hit up Adepticon every year, Boker Brawl, Captain Con, Nova, of course,
Which you run.
and yeah, yep. So this is our third year hosting. Big community collaborative effort with Delaware War Machine, and the Atlanteans are helping us out this year, the group out of Virginia.
And SFG's coming, right?
Yeah, yep, they are. So we're super, super excited. When they added Nova on their roadmap, we had no idea about that. So I'm getting a bunch of messages online. They're like, "Hey, congratulations, you hit the roadmap." I'm like, "I don't know what you're talking about, but thank you." I too love a roadmap.
Hey, it's exciting.
Yeah, no, it is. It's super exciting, and it's so humbling for us, and it's really like just to see this thing grow year after year and have the community come out and support us having fun. And like this year War Machine got moved back up to the Columbia, which is the big ballroom, so we're in there with some other bigger game systems. It's so exciting, and I can't wait. And it's a month from now, which is crazy.
I really wish I could go. I mean, everything I'm seeing, like the things you guys are doing, the tables that have been I've seen put together. It's going to be incredible.
Oh, thank you. We're actually we're testing our narrative this Tuesday, and I think next Tuesday with the game group. So we're gonna work out the bugs. But yeah, we have a really sick narrative plan this year. I think people will be pleasantly surprised.
Is anyone going to be streaming?
Yes, actually, Ice King. We have a dedicated streaming setup because we're in like the big room, where he's gonna have a hard direct hook in and lighting, and it should be really nice. But yes, we will be streaming all weekend long.
That's very exciting, and I will have to live vicariously through the streams. All right, so let's, I guess, get into the meat of this. Where would someone start if they want to pick up Dusk?
So for picking up Dusk, I think if you're new coming into wargaming in general, so let's say you're just rolling up to the game club and this is the game that's playing, I'm a huge fan of Rule of Cool to start, and also lore and narrative. So let's say you like reading the lore and it's, oh, okay, I really identify with this army, I want to hop in. Or there's a specific playstyle or strategy you enjoy. Or the dudes that look cool, right? Like Rule of Cool, hey, those guys look neat, I want to. If you're looking at picking up Dusk, so what I would say off the bat is it is a undead magical elf army. So if aesthetically, if you're into vampire, like that vampire, more dark, gritty look, like sleek. Yeah, I guess sleek and dark is probably how I would label them aesthetically. That and if that's your jam, they're great. If you're looking to pick up the army, my recommendation. So I picked up the army back when Privateer Press owned the IP, so the boxes are a bit different than when I joined. I would say right off the bat, if you're picking up the game for the first time or a new army, I'm a big fan of starting at 50 points, titrating up to 75, and eventually going to 100. Because like when Winter Core dropped, I was like, oh, I'm all in this army. I spent hundreds of dollars on Winter Core and hated it. Not hate it. It wasn't the army for me. Um, so when Dusk came out, I ended up proxying a bunch before. Like, try before you buy. That's what the great thing is about the War Machine app is you could literally, as long as you have the right base sizes, you can proxy a whole army because all the rules are available at no cost, and then you can go out and spend money. But to answer your question, what I would recommend if you're a new player starting off is picking up the War Machine Dust House Kallyss Battle Group box, which will net you Helith, a Ghast, and an Eidolon. And then hopping over to the Auxiliary Expansion box, which features Tyrus and the Dreadguard Infantry, which are the elite infantry for the army, the medium-based elite undead vampire guys. So if that's the style you're looking for, that's what you'll find in that box. And then you can't leave home without it, the Mage Hunter Commander solo, and then I would recommend picking up the Ghost of Ios Kadra.
Okay.
In that order. And then to swing back around, if you're, yeah, I'm down to clown, this is the army I want, then I would look at picking up the core expansion, which is Hazaroth, the Soulless, your unit of adepts, and the character heavy Israfel.
All right, so like you recommend just one of the battle group boxes because I know getting most of these you're always better off buying a battle group box instead of another light. And if you're going to have two lights and two heavies, you're always better off buying two of those battle group boxes instead of separate.
You could. You know me. Look, I love the Eidolons. I love the gas. I try and make it work. I very rarely, at even at 100-point games, see more than one gas. I would say like two tops. And then for Eidolons, if you're picking up Israfil, who I don't know if the new one is magnetized, like the one that I got from Privateer Press is magnetized, so I can just turn him into an Eidolon when I want. I mean, you could pick up a double battle group box and you'll probably be set.
Okay, yeah, you wouldn't recommend going 3, 4, like two max at this time.
No, and that's another thing too with this army that's a little different from the other ones is the star performers are the infantry, not so much the jacks. So if you're looking to pick up an army that, oh, I love the giant robots, they're cool, they do a whole lot, like that's what I want my army to do. This isn't necessarily it. Not saying it can't work, but the stars of the show are the Dreadgar and the infantry in the army.
All right, well, kind of going on that note, what are some of the strengths of this army?
So right off the bat, they say it's one of the greatest strengths in War Machine is being undead. So being undead means that there are a lot of rules and debuffs in the game that only affect living models that won't mess with your stuff, which is good. Being undead means you don't generate soul tokens. So armies like Crix that love souls, they're not getting that from you. And even a good chunk of our living infantry is soulless. So they're alive, but they won't give souls either. Another strength of the army is magical weapons and bless is very prevalent in the army innately. So you take our Ghost of Ios Cadre box, pretty much everything in there has bless in the army just natively on the model, which allows you to get through spell buffs and anti buffs to armor and defense. Having magical weapons is huge against incorporeal models that you need to have magical weapons to be able to damage them. The other huge strength in this army is its easy access to things like entropic and anti-healing. So we just have auras on some of our models that just shut off our opponent's ability to make tough rolls or tough checks or heal their models, which is very, very strong. And some of our spells are some of the strongest in the game. Ghost Walk being on the rack is good. We have a mortality caster. We have a fair number of good debuffs and our army hits very hard because we also have access to Battle Lust on the rack.
Say Battle Lust is on the rack. That's a huge.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. I'm not like, this might be a bit of a hot take. It's not my favorite thing on the rack because I think it really limits the design space for the models,
Okay.
but that's that's my hot take. I would rather Battle Lust not be on the rack and our infantry be more interesting offensively.
Okay. No, I can definitely see that. You think that's why some of the changes happened to the Cav?
I think, oh god, this is gonna be like just the hot takes from
I love
Erica.
it.
I think the reason that the Cav got changed was because of stupid Scarafell, who ruined it for everybody last year. I think the Cav were fine. I think the issue was Scarafell. And the issue with the Cav on the table, and this is one of the reasons I've actually dropped them from most of my lists, or I've downsized or downgraded to just one unit, is being on a 50 mil base and only having 1 inch reach without native Pathfinder. That's like another issue. Is it's very difficult to actually place this unit now and get attacks in when you're looking at things like objectives or terrain pieces. They are a much more finesse unit than they have been previously. And I've found that what I needed them for, they weren't doing necessarily on the table. So I've explored other options. Like the assassins, I'm running 1 or 2 units of assassins in list. They're like my new cav.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, whenever I see the cav, I'm like, okay, I got to get rid of them, and then I'm like, okay, they're not as scary as they were, and it's actually the slayers I need to really worry about when they get there.
yeah, I think the issue fundamentally with the cav is it's a unit that's on a large base. So when you put them on the table and you're accounting for things like the terrain and where objectives are, because in Mark IV, right, it's much more terrain dense environment. It's been very difficult to place the unit and get attacks out of them. At least that's been my experience playing them this year.
Yeah, I mean, 1 inch reach is very limiting.
Yeah, yeah. It would be great because they're kitty cats, get some of that scoring kitty cat energy. Or even just moving the 2 inch off of the sword on the tail
Yeah, I mean,
might be a good compromise. I don't know. I think they need the 2 inches back.
yeah, we'll see what happens in January.
SFG, if you're listening, yeah. Yeah. Give us our 2 inches.
So kind of talking about that, what's some of the weaknesses that you feel when you're playing a game?
So, most of our debuffs are spell dependent, where I need to cast a thing on you to be able to debuff you. So when we talk about spell immunity, like we see with the primevals in the game, like you can't debuff them with spells. And it's also dice dependent. So if you're trying to hit something that's in cover or concealment, that can be a little bit more difficult. Versus like you take an army like Crix that's got Scything Touch on the rack or Carnage. They don't have to interact with the opponent to debuff. So that's off the bat. You're gonna have to interact with your opponent if you want to buff them.
Okay, so it's not like you have Scything Touch or anything where you just walk up and.
Yeah, I mean, technically you do on out Hazaroth, right? You have Shadowmancer. So your only real hit fixers in the army before the Phantasm that's brand new that just came out was a feat on Helith, mortality on Moraine, so 2 casters, and then I think crit Shadowbind on a gas gun.
Mm-hmm.
And then the aberration, right? That thing can help out too because it has Shadowbind.
Yeah.
So to roll into the next weakness is hit fixing. So one of the biggest challenges with the army is quantity of attacks and accuracy. So we hit really hard. A lot of our stuff only has single attacks, and we don't have access to a reroll outside of a solo that only lets construct models reroll. So the army's very committal when it comes to that. So a common strategy into Dust that you'll see people play into is here's a bunch of dudes I'm going to shove in your face with a defensive feat. Have fun. It can be very difficult to climb out of that.
Yeah, there's no defensive feats like that in the game at all, right?
I don't know. I just
I feel like they keep adding more and more.
yeah, I know. I think when Kythos came out, I'm like, oh, great, cool. New Zadaroth 2025, great. And then the Vargas came out, and it's just like, can we do something else with feet?
Do you feel Helith is going to make a comeback, or are you playing Helith currently?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, 100%. I think Helith is our strongest caster when it comes over overtaking what we're weak at. So, for example, she comes with a feat that makes our opponents -2 death, -2 armor. She buffs the defense and armor of her infantry. She has Field Marshal True Sight, so she can get through cloud walls. I like Helith a lot. She's my favorite caster. Her and Tyrus they're my jam. Tyrus is kind of who I unlocked the army with initially. I think I probably told you before. My first 30 games with Dusk, I lost the first 27, 28. Not lying, it was really rough. And Tyrus was the caster that it clicked for me.
I mean, he's good. He's always been good.
He's very good.
And just people didn't like him because Seraphel.
Yeah, yep. There we go. Yeah, Sorry, I didn't play her at all because I thought that she was not good for the game. And with a few times I did play her, it was such a negative play experience for my opponent. And also playing into her as somebody like playing the mirror, she's wasn't an enjoyable experience. But she's different now.
Yeah.
So but to go back to Helith, I like Helith for just the tools that come on her card off the bat. And I think she also stresses a lot of rack options for other armies.
Okay. Yeah, I can. Yeah, because the feat is just this is what it is, and she also has a ton of just personal output if she needs to.
Yeah, being a gun mage with 3 different shot types is very, very good.
She can cut herself too, right? To get a life trader or something like that.
Yeah, she's got life. So you can boost in Life Trader to do a 4 dice damage roll against people, which can take out casters pretty easily, especially under feet.
Mm-hmm.
Her biggest drawback is she's a 15/15 with 15 health. So she literally dies to everything. Like my health has died literally, Kyle, to everything you could possibly think of in the game. She's died from blast damage. She's died just getting punched in the face. I've died from fire rolls. Like if it's in the game, I've died from it with her. So you just have to be careful when you do play her, because you can just get her assassinated pretty easily.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Mark IV just in general is a lot more deadly for casters.
Yes, it is. It is very lethal. I 100% agree with you on that.
Which I am for. I don't usually take assassinations, but I've taken quite a few in the games this year because I had to.
Yeah, I mean, it's that risk versus reward thing, right? Like sometimes you have to put your caster up to get work or you'll lose on scenario, right? It's a gamble. I'm gonna camp 2, hope for the best. And at the end of the day, it's a dice
Yep.
game, right? So I think what was it, last year's Broker Brawl? Not this year, but last year, Rob from Canada. I had the game locked. It was Tyrus into Boris. Had the game locked on scenario, and he had to go for this Hail Mary assassination attempt. He shot Tyrus in the face, crit armor pierced him for 17 damage after I reduced the damage with focus. Like I still took 17. I was like, okay, got shot in the face. Good
Yep.
game.
Boom, headshot, right?
Yeah, you can get mad about that. I'm like, it's such a good allegory for life, right? Like you can do everything perfect, everything right, do all the prep, and then you just get shot in the face. Like
Yep. I mean, that's
it
that's
happens.
what's we're playing a game that we roll dice and it tells a story. So at the end of the day, I mean, that's what I always like. I'll laugh at my dice when they're just doing terrible. I'm just like, yep, this is par for the course.
Mhm.
So
I Yeah, I will say though, between the other Mark IV armies, if you're looking at them, Dusk isn't as intuitive off the bat to play, if that makes sense.
there's a lot of layers to it that you want to,
Yes.
because I mean, you were mentioning elite
Yeah.
and then like that come in the auxiliary, because that's what you're basically your meat and potatoes that you always want to take in your lists.
Yeah. One of my critique comes from a place of love, and this might just be because Dusk is one of the original Mark IV armies that launched. This army compared to other armies feels like 3 cadres that make up an army versus a complete force.
I can see that. Just looking at
If that
looking
makes
at the
sense.
Ghost of Ios, is that what it is? Because they on
Mhm.
their website they have it Dusk House Kallyss Command Starter now.
Oh, got it. Okay, yeah, I guess it's not okay. So maybe they're not cadre anymore.
It is on the it's one of the more expensive ones at $100.
Yeah, but you get straight up bangers in that box. You get the Spectre, you get Moraine.
Yeah, I mean everything in that box is 100% playable.
Yeah, oh yeah, that box is chef's kiss. Everything in there is good in that box. But the army itself, it feels like when you go to list building, it's like, okay, am I gonna go Soulless? Am I gonna go Dreadguard? Or am I gonna go Living Ghosts? It's not as how can I compare it? Like if you look at the old Umbre stuff that just came out, and I realize it's a newer army. Like all those models just synergize so well with each other. In Dusk, I feel like I have to pick a lane, and that's where the majority of the army is going to be.
Yeah.
If that
No, I
makes sense.
completely agree. I mean, they all work together. It's just, I mean, out of the core expansion, you'll probably take Arcanists and maybe a unit of Guardians for the shield
Yeah,
guards.
exactly, right? Yeah, and it's weird that Hazaroth comes in that box and he's not in the Dreadguard box.
Yeah,
Because like when I play Solus, I play them with Tyrus. When I play Dreadguard, I play them with Hazaroth. So it feels
because Hazaroth has revive, right?
well you can rack it, but he has
Oh,
Invocations
that's
of
right.
Dust, which yeah, which allows him to sack a focus to save an undead dude. It feels like those casters should be swapped in that box. That's just Erica looking at the boxes and what's in there. But to say your point, right? The core box, you're probably just using the Guardians and the Adepts.
Oh, and Israfel.
Uh,
Most
yeah,
sometimes.
yeah. See
Yeah,
Israfil. Yeah. We still see Israfil out and
yeah.
about.
Um, Kind of speaking of that, what's your list making process like as you're making a pair? What do you think's the optimized pair right now for the current meta?
We're about to get
Yeah, I
philosophical
mean,
here.
let's hear it.
All right. So you probably heard about War Machine Enlightenment,
Yep.
right? Okay. So I I was in a really bad headspace the beginning of 20 after the January update until probably like a month ago with the army, and I really had to reevaluate the way that I looked at list building in the game. Um when I approach list building now, I take a look at instead of focusing on the have-nots and trying to compensate for that, I'm looking at what my army does that's unique from everything else in the game right now. So, you know how I said, or we were talking about earlier, some of the weaknesses with the army is the def skews and the armor skews. So, if I'm trying to make a list to just focus on beating that stuff, which my army is innately bad at, it wasn't fun to play, at least for me. And it was really a little frustrating on the table. So I say answer your question. So for list construction, I have a general vision and objective that I want rather than looking at the models right off the bat and build from there. So my pairing right now that I've been practicing is Tyrus and Helith. So the Tyrus list is I want to make a list that's anti-magic, that has a lot of magic hate. I want everything to go fast and hit hard. Like that's it. So who fits that bill? And then I'll look at the catalog of bottles to see who meets that cut. The Helith list, so again with list pairing, if for example, if Tyrus is the main drop, I need to make a list that I don't want that Tyrus can't handle. Or make a list that covers the matchups that Tyrus cannot handle. So like the mass dude spam for one, or mass armor or def, I'm gonna look at Helith for that. I'm not gonna go like all out 100% for it, but if I have a main caster I'm looking to drop in a tournament, I need to be able to build something to complement that play style without a lot of overlapping jobs, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. With I know you're in WTC. Has that affected how you are designing your list, being in a team format, or are you kind of just taking what is going to be optimized for your play style with Dusk?
So a team environment, a team tournament's very different from solos. And I love Team Machine. That's my favorite way to play this game. Yes, you are in general, your lists are going to be different in a team format than when you're just rolling up to a solos event. Because in a team environment, it's a collaborative effort with everybody else that's on the team. So the way that I've approached it on team tournaments is like, okay, what's my job on the team? Am I the Signar player and I'm going to have this really gnarly, crazy gun line? I'm going to make the hardest gun line I can play and hope that my team can protect me in the matchmaking process against armies that tech very well into guns. So for me playing House Kallyss, I can focus on the things that my lists want to do and hope that through the pairing process, my team can protect me from the matches that are difficult. So Infernals, right? Infernals is a difficult, well, I guess they're hard for everybody right now, but especially for Dust because they really prey on undead and soulless models. Well, guess what most of our stuff is? Undead and soulless, right? So yeah, I guess that's how I would approach the list construction. And at the end of the day, right, like you have to zone in and focus on what you enjoy playing and your play style and massage that in with your list building. Like so if I'm prepping for a big tournament or like WTC and I have to rep the same list over and over and over again, I better love that list. I need to be in love with that list. I need to be passionate. I need to be excited about that list. That's really important. Because at the end of the day, right, it's a game. We should be having fun. We should be enjoying it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's what I always tell people when I get to the table with them is like, hey, we're here to have fun. If we're not having fun, let's stop and talk.
Yeah, yeah. Like Moraine, I'm I'm not going to deny she's an S tier caster. She's amazing. I don't gel with her very well, and I wasn't having fun playing the game, playing this caster. So just for me, like a simple caster adjustments done has been really good for me, and being able to play more and cater more to my personal playstyle. I was a Grimkin player, you guys. I like the weird stuff, right? Like I want to play the weird kind of out of the box.
Yeah.
Casters, I like having options in utility.
I mean, are you sure you're not going to end up on Old Umbre?
I mean, I might have dropped a few $100s on Old Umbre at this point. But no, not until after WTC.
Yeah, and I'm sure that like grinding games, it'll be a nice palate cleanser as well.
Yeah, I mean, I've jumped on them a few times. I've played, I've proxied them at game night. They're a lot of fun, and I've been a Hordes player for 2 editions. So this is really the first edition of the game. I'm playing a War Machine army, which was really weird. So to go back to Hordes, and back to the focus mechanic over Furies, that's going to be a little bit of an adjustment, I think, or a readjustment.
Yeah, yeah. With Dusk, I mean, you've kind of gone over it, but any like tips or tricks, like people getting into it, like things like easy, like quick synergies that they might not initially see?
I would say tips and tricks. Another good strength here, we talked a little bit about the anti-healing is a lot of RFP. So we have a lot of remove from play tech just built into our army. That's really good.
And I think that's going to become more and more. It's going to be really important to have that stuff because there's so much revive or grim returns. Like,
oh, yeah, it's a ton of recursion right now in the game for sure. Yeah. I would say I really like, and people joke about the Eidolon and the Spectre, and they're like, oh, the Jacks suck. The Jacks are such great little utility pieces, and I love bringing a toolbox to the table rather than just the hammer, if that makes sense. So our Jacks have a ton of movement, manipulation abilities on their melee and ranged weapons. So, for example, on the Eidolon and the Spectre, you can have a beatback shield. You can just like beat things off of points that you can't kill. Like I don't have to kill you. I just have to move you an inch off this objective to score it. There's a lot of pulling guns, so you can do some really janky stuff with an Eidolon with a 2-inch reach weapon in one hand, a 1-inch in the other, and that vortex cannon. Because if you're the closest model, the thing that you're shooting, because the jacks have pistol now. Great change, by the way. We love it. You can actually drag your jack into the thing that you shot, and now you get all your weapons on it.
Oh, okay.
Or on the model that you're attacking. Yeah, I used it at Siege against a Chimera player. He had 2 heavies. I couldn't engage both of them, so I charged one. Vortex pulled my Eidolon, and then I was able to engage both of his heavies. So there's some fun tech with that.
That's definitely a good one.
Let's see. What else is fun? Oh, aiming and repoing. That's a fun little trick that you can use with the commander. Is you can aim units and repo them with the commander to spread them across the table. That's how I've gotten away with only using 1 unit of cats.
Yeah, they definitely can spread out pretty good then.
Yeah, no, it helps to just cover more of the board. Because points are tight in this army. Like, especially if you're taking the elite infantry, the Dreadguard, like you're paying the Cadillac prices for the Cadillac models. So points go quick. Oh, the assassins are great into Crix models. If you, especially into the sludge thralls that explode, that sucks, right? But the assassins are range 3, so they can stay out of the explosion. And if they do happen to kill a sludge thrall, they have to roll a 3 dice 11, I think, just to kill them with decap. Or you battle less than 4 dice 11. They become incorporeal on box, so even when they explode, they don't get hurt by the explosion because they're incorporeal.
See, I've only played against them a couple times, and I was playing Kane, so they've either died or the game was over.
Yeah. The assassins are really good for that. So they're great. They're great into Crix. Scarafell, I think she's really good into Crix. With her feet and with all the 80 mils that are running around the tables nowadays, Force Hammer is a very good spell. Because you can slam them. It's one of the reasons I stopped taking 80 mils. But yeah, those are some little tricks. With Dusk, and that's what I like. It really challenges you to think outside the box and creatively to capitalize on their practice. A lot of people are like, oh, C model, kill model. But that's not necessarily the case or what you have to do if you can't kill them.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, even the archers are tanky.
Yeah. And they're also power 12s at the end of the day. So you could like put Battle Lust on them and charge them, and now they're Mat 6, Weapon Master, power 12s. Like, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that hurts.
Or even under Helith feet, now they're Mat 8, power 14 bows that they're hitting you with. Like, it's really good. Yeah, another trick that you can do is if somebody does gum them up, is you can use a Void Blast. Like, if it's low armor stuff, you could Void Blast one of the things on you for the power 8 blast damage to unjam your archers if you to. And then Kruger. Oh god, we didn't even talk about that. Yeah, you guys got to buy yourself a Kruger. Mr. Kruger is very good in this army.
Basically, any faction that can take Kruger should pick up Kruger.
Yes, yeah, 100%. Especially this army. This army loves them some Kruger. I'll tell you what.
I mean, he's a good independent gun platform that I think is needed in this army.
Yeah, before the Phantasm came out, he was one of the very few options we had for long-range boostable guns.
Yeah, because the archers are long-range, but they're not boostable.
Yeah, exactly. The archers with walking and placing can shoot up to like 21 inches, 21 and a quarter on the table if you calculate in the port, right? Straight on. And then Kruger goes to 18, and then if you take a Raider, you can threaten 20 inches with Kruger gun.
Would you suggest balloons when they become available again?
So y'all know I like the Blimps Dusket. We were rolling that on the battle report and at Boker Brawl. I think now that the Phantasm is out, I've shelved the balloons for now. The balloons are very good in House Kallyss. So their unique thing is they go up a point in defense and they have Poltergeist. So you have flying Def 14 battle engines, which is really funny. Yeah, I would say so. Maybe one balloon to try it out. I think the balloons in Dusk and Kador I think are very good
Yeah,
with their unique army
yeah,
rules.
and hopefully, in the next couple months they come back out for purchase.
Yeah, I think in previous years too, with Dusk House, because actually one of my complaints about the armies, I feel like we were very merc heavy, merc bloated, because we didn't have the long range guns, or we didn't have a lot of the boostable long range guns. That's why you saw Big Pig in a lot of lists last year, and balloons.
Oh, definitely.
But now we have a
Yeah, I mean,
Phantasm, so and
I'm excited to see that. I'm very glad um, of what it can do for the army because it's going to definitely fill some of those holes that you had.
I think so. Yeah, I 100% agree. I've played it a few times on War Table. I've proxied it using my old commo Kador Conquest. Um, and it's been a lot of fun. It's been nice to have a long range in faction dedicated gun platform.
I'm I'm excited to see where it ends up once it's like fully out and people get more and more games with it.
Yeah, I think it's viable with everybody. And that's a thing too. All of our casters are viable. Like everybody has a place. Everybody's good. You could take anybody in a pairing and be successful
Yeah,
with
because
them.
I mean, talking about Holith again, doesn't she have a fire group or something like that?
Oh, yep. She's got fire group. So if you need a range 16 gun on your Phantasm, you got it.
Yep. I mean, that's good. That's more than a lot of threat ranges.
Yeah. um But yeah, no, it's I've seen the Phantasm with Moraine, Helith, and Hazaroth so far. I haven't seen it with the other two casters, but I think that they can run it just fine.
And just kind of finishing it off, what are some things you don't want to see across the table? I mean, we talked about a lot of the defense skews. Is there anything else other than that, or do you feel pretty confident into a lot of other matchups?
Well, as part of the War Machine Enlightenment journey, we have no dodges. We'll play
Okay.
whatever is on the table. But what I don't, which when I see it across the tables, I like to. Okay, I call it legacy where it's what I'm talking about, like the Exalted with all the Immortals, or Decrix with all the thralls that are like stealth with scything touch on them all the time. That, of course, Infernals, like I don't like are probably the two things that I'm least excited to see across the table. But I'll play whatever.
All right. And kind of just making it kind of for people who also don't want to play Dusk but want to know what to do playing into Dusk. What's kind of your like? What are some pieces you were like absolutely don't want to lose when you have them? I mean, obviously you don't want to lose anything, but like, what are usually the linchpins in your army when you're have these lists?
Oh, that's a good question. All right, Mr. Kruger. Mr. Kruger is really, really crucial. So if you can snipe him out early, I would look to do that. Um, some of the support pieces in the back, like if you have a lot of spell debuffs and you're trying to get on the jacks and you can't because of abilities like exorcism, if you take out the seeker adepts, that takes exorcism off the table, and it focus is like a very tight currency. So when you're forcing the Duskcaster to have to allocate focus to their jacks, it's not a good day for them.
I feel yeah. Sorry, I feel like that's the Arcanist thing. I feel like that's pretty common with every faction because I mean, coming from Storm Legion, like most of my casters, like I don't want to allocate my jacks anything. I just want if I have mechanics, they're doing all the
Yeah.
work.
Yeah. Hey, but you also have accumulator on your heavies, so even if your
Well,
uh your your dudes are dead, you still get a
don't you
free
as
free
well
focus.
on the Eidolon?
Not on the heavy. No, the Eidolons have Force Barrier. The gas have
Oh,
Accumulator
so it's on the
Undead,
light.
which works on which works on undead merc models like Mulgreth, which is pretty cool.
Okay.
But oh, and I would say if you can take out, like, if you see the cab, any Dreadguard models, like if you could take out the archers or the cavalry, the army, again, those are our star performers. Um those are our real big work models. If you can kill the cats, the archers, and Kruger, it is a rough time for House Kallyss on the table.
All right. So hopefully, I mean,
And
hopefully that definitely helped. What were you gonna say? I'm sorry.
oh, I was gonna say, and then again, with the infantry being so premium price, especially if you're taking Dreadguard, like any Dreadguard models you take off the table are it really hurts because there's such a big point commitment uh, to the army.
Yeah. So if you can get like a definitely like a cheaper unit in to take out like your elite stuff, definitely it's probably worth the trade.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I mean, they're all 8 boxes.
Yep. So part of the January update, was it 2 Januaries ago? Yeah, I think it was 2 Januaries ago. Originally, when the army came out, the Dreadguard only had 5 boxes, and then they were blessed to 8, which has been huge for them and their survivability on the field.
Yeah, I mean,
And they also have vampiric, so if they kill a living or undead model, they heal for D3.
that is huge. Very huge and
Yes.
has been very
Yeah.
annoying.
Yeah. I will say probably out of the Dreadguard units, the Slayers are probably the ones you're not going to see too much of. But you'll definitely see archers and kitty
Yeah.
cats.
I mean, the archers are like really good.
They're an S tier unit. Like I think they're probably one, if not the best ranged unit in the game, outside of maybe the Black 13 or the Hounds. Non-character unit,
Yes,
non-character ranged unit. They're probably the best in the
I
game.
would agree. Because when you're thinking of elite ranged non-character, I mean, there's not really a lot of options.
Yeah, and again, that goes back to one of the strengths of the army is the utility because they have 3 different shot types, right? So if you need to clear chaff infantry, you can void shot. If you need to hit a heavy target, you can use the powerful shot. If you want to RFP stuff, you can use the deathly dominion shot.
Well,
So they're they're really good.
I mean, the Deathly Dominion too. That like when you box it, you take control, make an advance, and make
Yep.
an attack.
Yep. Yep, exactly. So you take control of somebody, you walk them over to their friend, and attack. So you get 2 attacks basically for 1. It's a ton of power. It's very, very good.
I always see those and I'm like, man, I wish, but Dusk to me, it's just like the aesthetic. It wasn't for me.
Yeah, that's fair. Aesthetically speaking, they're not my favorite. Like the cats look cool, Scarafell look cool. The thing that won me over was the rules in the rack.
I mean, their rack is really
Uh,
good.
yeah, the rack is very good. Uh, and yeah, it's their rules and the flavor of the army, not necessarily aesthetics.
Yeah, and I'm glad you're enjoying it, and I'm super excited to see how you do at WTC with them. I know you've had I know you've
Oh,
had
thanks.
success at a lot of other tournaments running them, so it's going to be exciting to see them at WTC and see how that pans out when the lists haven't been published yet, have they?
No, I don't think they're published until so WTC is late this year. It's like the end of October, so I think list lock is the end of
Oh,
September or late
okay.
September. Yeah, so we still got some time, still got some releases. Um, but yeah, no, I'm super excited to play them and help represent the Dust community at such a prestigious event, and be able to play with them along with my teammates. So
Who is on your team?
so our team captain is Chris Gunther. We have the legendary Acres, Nate M, and my husband Andy.
Very nice.
So yeah, it's we've been having a lot of fun. We've been traveling to a lot of tournaments together in the United States, and we've been playing in a lot of leagues online together. It's just been so much fun, and I'm learning so much from those guys and the other teams. Just everybody. Everybody's been super chill, and it's been great with the feedback, and I really appreciate everybody's input.
That's awesome. Anything you want to talk about at the end? Like, I mean, you guys tried and true. I mean, you guys have always been big on community building and everything. So you want to plug your stuff?
Thanks again for inviting me on and talking about Dusk. I love the
Yeah,
army.
glad to
Um,
have you.
Thanks. So we're with Delaware War Machine. We're located in the Philadelphia area. We've got a few thriving metas around us. We're in a very fortunate area. So we have Dave, a Portal out of Bethlehem. We have Seth and Seth Cohen, Steve Rabideau, of course, the NJSOBs. And then we have Crit Hit Maryland. So we have the a few very active gaming communities in our immediate area. My brother and Dan helped found the Delaware War Machine Community Finder website, where you can see active groups in your area, and it's a world map now. It originally started just continental United States and has just blown up since then. So it's really cool seeing how many communities have popped up over the past few
Yeah,
years.
I plug it every chance I get.
Oh, sweet. Okay, great. We're not really podcasting too much anymore. We have our YouTube channel. We do battle reports. We try and post one a month. Life's been crazy very recently, especially between work and getting ready for Nova. But I think we're trying to film a game this weekend. So stay tuned for that. We have a pretty active Discord. We're Delaware Machine Discord. Shout out to Joe from Tyrants on the Field, hosts the North American War Table League, which is a monthly war table tournament that gets over 40 players pretty consistently, and only runs between 3 and 4 rounds, and then we're done. That's been great. So if you're looking for a War Table League, come on over and join. It's open to anybody. And just because it's right around the corner, I'm gonna plug it. Our group hosts all the War Machine events at Nova Open, which takes place in Washington, D.C. over Labor Day weekend. It is a 5-day con. It starts Wednesday afternoon and ends Sunday afternoon. It's a great time. Hall's open 24 hours. It's a bunch of restaurants. It's right there in DC. So if you have family and you want to come see the sites, there's a ton of museums and nation's history all right there. And it's a really good time. And we're very excited. We have a very diverse menu of War Machine events this year. But yeah, we're just prepping for that.
Yeah, I mean that's awesome. I'm super excited. Like I was saying earlier about Nova, I know there are a few people from the Syracuse area who are going down. I don't know if they're in any of the events, but I know they're going down. So that'll be exciting to see what they get into and what you got planned. I'm very excited to see the narrative, like you were saying, what that comes out, because I've always wanted to play in one. I've just never been at a convention where I've been able to and still get to play like the main events that I want to play.
Yeah, so that was feedback we got last year. So what we did was we have a narrative event that runs in the morning, and then we cut the afternoon and moved it to narrative at night. So feedback we got was all of our tournament players were like, "Man, narrative looked cool. I'd love to play in it, but I was in tournaments all day." So we're trying the night thing and seeing if we can accommodate our players' schedules that way. That's the thing too. We're very much I don't say regimented on our schedule, but our goal is no more than a 4-round event every day. I think the only 4-round event we're doing is the team event. Everything else is 3 rounds. That way people can enjoy dinner, go out, enjoy the city and the
Yeah, because
convention.
it's not just
I'm sure you've
it's
been
not
them,
just
yeah.
War Machine at this. There's a lot.
Oh, there's so much to see there. There's so much art. There's some incredible painters. They do these really amazing classes there. Because you know how it is, right? Like you've been in the War Machine room from 9 o'clock in the morning until like 11 o'clock at night.
Yep.
We don't do that at Nova. We don't do that at Nova, you guys.
Playing an 8-round event, and by the end of it, you're like, what happened?
Yeah, exactly. But and same thing, like the dealer's room. There's so many amazing vendors from all over the world who come out. It's a really good time. It's a great con. It's clean. It's friendly. Yeah, it's very well run too. So
I'm super excited. I'm hoping next year. It's always Labor Day weekend, right?
It is, yeah, and it's hard for like with schools.
Yeah,
I hear that a lot too. It's rough.
Yep.
And then the other event that we host that I don't think we're doing this year because of WGC is the Susquehanna Scuffle. That's our big 3-man tournament that we've hosted the past 3 years. It's been in a different location every year. But I think, and that's typically in the fall. We host that in October, but just the timing isn't really aligning with everything this year. So we're going to bring back the Susquehanna Scuffle next year.
Awesome. And I'll make sure John puts in the show notes a link to the Discord. That way people can find you if for some reason they can't. But you guys are pretty easy to find on social media. Like you're on Facebook. Are you on Instagram?
I think that our tried and true account is. Look, I'm like old, you guys. I just have Discord and Facebook, but I think our
and YouTube. You have YouTube.
Oh yeah, we do have a YouTube. We got one of those. But for Instagram, I think our tried and true account is tied to that on Facebook. I don't know. I post stuff on Facebook and it shows up on Instagram sometimes.
Perfect. So it
there we go. I think we're on Instagram.
Thank you for everything you do for the community. I mean, you got Les back into Mark IV. You like, I was actually listening to some of the earlier episodes, and he's like, the game with you got him back into the game.
I remember that he was playing Wharves, right? It was up in Jersey. It was at the hardware store that Seth and Steve play at. Yeah, and I was playing. I think I was playing Grimkin at the time.
I'm so happy about that.
I don't think I had Dusk yet. Yeah.
I think you were playing Wintercore at the time, or something like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And I was like, I don't know what your models do. You don't know what my models do. Let's just have some fun and roll some dice.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, but thank you again for coming on. It was great chatting. I definitely learned some things that I was not aware of, so I'm definitely going to use that in games going ahead. So yeah, again, thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks again for inviting me on. I love talking Dusk. If anyone's ever on Discord and wants to talk shop, I am always down to clown, as we say. But yeah, no, thank you so much, and I absolutely love this series you guys are doing, and all the guests you're having on. I'm learning a lot. Like when Ryan was on talking, when you were asking him the question, like, what doesn't Shadowflame want to see? I was like, oh, yes, Ryan, spill your sweet, delicious secrets.
Yes, because I want to know.
Yeah, I want to know too.
Because we all can't play all the armies. There's not enough time.
Yeah. No, this series has been great. It's been really informative. So thank you so much for doing it.
Thank you for the feedback. So, yeah, we actually don't have a sign off. That's something I even said with Ryan. John and I got to figure that out.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for having me on. Bye.
We usually joke around and go like chain attack or battle driven.
Oh, battle driven.